So the first category is best name. So for instance, you can be Dave Pear, right? If you're going to have to be a fruit or a vegetable, you could be Dave Blueberry, Dave Grapefruit, Dave Watermelon. But no, you managed to pull it off with Dave Pear. Good job. Billy Brooks. Billy has a lot of opportunities once he's done with the NFL. Billy Brooks suits, Billy Brooks shoes. He can do anything. He's got a world of opportunities because of his great name. Here's another one. Barty Smith. I really like to see his birth certificate. Does it say Barty? Or does it say Bart? Does it say Bartholomew? Both very acceptable. But Barty? You're going to name your kid Barty knowing someday he's going to be a grown man. Check out this name, Kim Bocamper. Now you'd think with a name like Kim that would be a problematic. But you don't even realize it's a girl's name because it's Kim Bocamper. Listen to those hard Ks. But the winner, and I want everybody to say this one out loud. I don't care if you're goofing off in the office, in the classroom. Say this one out loud. Verndenherder. Verndenherder. Fantastic. And the winner of best name. This next category is best nickname that wasn't. These guys should have nicknames, but they don't. So for instance, Reggie. Oh no, you didn't. Rucker. Tom. Hey, look at me, Mom. Scaldani. Don. Look at my funny face. Strock. George. Slightly stunned. Roberts. Carl. Well, will you look at that? Mock. And his good friend, Mike. Well, yeah, gosh, look at that. Webster. And then Wesley. Oh my God, my hat is on too tight. Walker. And finally, I don't think it's a concussion because if I close one eye, I only see one of everything. And that's Andre Tillman. Best nickname. The next couple of categories are going to have to do with hair. When you think of the NFL, you generally think of people like Charlie Hanna here and Doug Deacon, right? Their hair is messed. Mike Hartenstein. They've been working hard. But this category we're going to go to first is best hair. Check out Golden Richards. Tell me he doesn't have some hair product stashed somewhere under the bench and he's fixing his hair after every down. Eddie Hair, right? I mean, how appropriately named. Look at that head of hair. Beautiful. And then here's Johnny. No, I've never had a helmet on Evans, right? I think he's pretty much rocking the bench. And here's John James. He's making every straight man think twice. Great hair. If there's great hair, there's got to be pretty bad hair. So this next category is best bad hair. Neil O'Donoghue. It's bad. I'm sorry, Neil. I'm not trying to hurt anybody here. But flat on top, kind of puffy and unruly on the sides. And you got bad posture. You're kind of slumped over. It's horrible. Steve here at least has a smile on his face, but his hair's going every which way. It's problematic. It's not good. But they are not the winners. The winners of best bad hair, Bob Young. You can't tell me that his barber let him leave the shop looking like that. I just picture a scenario where the barber's like, Bob, could you just sit back? Bob, sit back down. I don't want people knowing you got your hair cut. Bob, could you come? And Bob just walks out the door. Not good. And the last category having to do with hair is Best Princess Leia Lookalike. You'd think there'd be nobody in this category, but we actually had two contenders. The first being Bucky Dilts from the Colts. Look at that nice little puff of hair on the side, Princess Leia style. But the obvious winner, the judges did not even contemplate this for a second. The winner of Best Princess Leia Lookalike, Bob Thomas from the Chicago Bears. I mean, really. Put a little white thing on him, and he's Princess Leia. The next category is most likely to be a PBS TV announcer in the off-season. Nolan Cromwell. This is Nolan Cromwell, and welcome to Masterpiece Theater. Right? The next category is Squirrel. The next category is Best Look to Kill. You sort of expect this. There's lots of guys with kind of mean looks, but they don't have to be that way. Look at Richard Bishop. He's happy, he's smiling, he's a defensive end, he's all pro. He's not joking around, so you don't have to look like Fred Dryer. Fred Dryer looks like this 24/7. He did not take his helmet off. He did not unstrap his chin strap. Not at home. Not when he was showering. Not when he was making sweet love to his wife. And that look on his face, he had that 24/7 as well. He had a TV show, this guy, and this was the look on his face at all times. But he still doesn't win. The winner for meanest, scariest face, Harold Jackson. Harold, I will F you up, Jackson. Next category combines two of my favorite things, accessories and cool names. Billy Joe Dupree. Look at that headband. Look at that name. Didn't he jump off the Tallahassee Bridge? Or is that some other Billy Joe? What about Joe Lavender? Headband, glasses, and a last name Lavender. Sweet. But the winner of best accessory and coolest name, Jimmy Giles. I think he had a show in the 70s, a TV show. That orange headband, sweet. This next category is, I know I'm a running back, but I told my dad I was a quarterback. So, could you just... Louis Giamatti from the Eagles, pretending to be a quarterback. Didn't want to let his dad down. This next category is best mustache. Popular category back in the day. Craig Colquitt from the Steelers. It's there. I see it. It's good. Nice job, Craig. Another kind of faint little mustache going on with Cornell. Very delicate. Appreciate it. Ooey has a very ooey mustache. His mustache screams ooey. And look at Lupacone. Tell me he hasn't been working on that mustache since high school. But the winner, hands down for best stash, Matt Robinson. Nice. The next category is best NFL player who used to live down the block from me. I kid you not, Curtis Brown. I grew up in Buffalo. He lived down the street from me. He had a cool house. I think he had a daughter. Never met her. Never met him. But, my God, he lived down the street from me. I swear. Next category is best rocking a headset. Bill Thompson. Look at that headset. Real cool. Very cool. And June Jones. Now, he's the winner, but I have some concerns. There's a lot of question about that. So when you look at his records, he's, I don't know what he's doing with the headset on. It's embarrassing that on a card for all of history, in 1977, he got -1 yards. So embarrassing. But even, 2 years later, he's got like 80 attempts. So you know what I think's going on there? He's probably doing some part-time work for Ma Bell. How can I direct your call? This next category is best eye black. You start looking at these cards and there's all sorts of people doing all sorts of stuff with eye black. And some people, like Herman Edwards, get it right. Good positioning, appropriate kind of balance with the size of his face. Pat Tilley's able to manage it. But then there's guys who have some problems. Jack Dolben, it's starting to meander off the side of his face. Tom Hicks, what do you think? Where's the sun coming from? What is it doing in the corner of your eye? Steve Schubert puts his eye black on almost as a nice rouge. Doug Bowden, I think he was just taking like a stab at it. I know my face is there somewhere, the eyeballs. And then Bob Klein, I think he had some kind of deal with Nike, because he has the swoosh going underneath his eye. So I give Bob some credit for product placement. Harry Carson, nice little movement in there. I don't know if he was trying an artsy thing. But the winner is actually a 3-way tie. It's really for the Houston Oilers. They were doing some mysterious things with their eye black. I don't know if they were fooling with each other or trying to one-up each other. Billy Johnson. Okay, that's a lot of eye black. Mike Renfro. He's got so much eye black, his eyeballs are literally lost in a black hole of eye black. And check out Mike Barber. Literally 33% of his face is eye black. Clearly, the Oilers need a special coach or some sort of mentoring to help them with the eye black. This next category is a kind of a strange one, but it's best. Give me a Williams. Any Williams will do. I've got a checklist to do. So here's the Chargers checklist. You're going to see Clarence William, Good job, rushing leader. So, there's Clarence, right? No, Mike Williams. He's a cornerback. That's not Clarence William. Here's Clarence William, for God's sake. The next category is Best Backup Musician for Marvin Gaye on his Let's Get It On song. On bass, L.C. Greenwood. The next category is First Kid to Spell His Name Right in Preschool. Ray Guy. Ray Guy, 6 letters, 2 of them are the same. Now, sure, you might argue with me. Oh, gee, that's not so easy to make, right? It's like an O, but then you got to stop. You got to do this, you got to do that. Okay, but think about that. Ray Guy versus his teammate Phil Villapiano, who still to this day doesn't know how to spell his name correctly. The next category is player most likely to be a lantern or a thermos. Greg Coleman. This next category is player most likely to be free virus detection software bundled with your new gateway computer. Ken McAfee for the 49ers. Thanks for keeping us safe, Ken. So this next category tries to answer the age-old question. Helmet on, helmet off. Well, you know what? You can do both. David Hill, Jack Rudney, George Stark, all kind of do a middle ground. They can't quite decide. But Richard Castor, he's like, give me a second. I'm putting my helmet on. Don't take the... Vince Ferragamo saw what happened to Castor. He's like, I'm putting my helmet on. And the most frustrated was Roland Hooks. He's like, I'm putting it on. Just don't... literally, he needed 3 seconds. In a kind of related category, I have to put Russ Washington. He's talking to the photographer. He's like, you know what? Hey, it's been an all-pro year. I'm just so proud of myself. So whatever you do, make this picture look good. Do not get me drinking and covering half my face with a cup. The alternative possibility here is Russ is really sensitive about his nose. And our last category is, I think you should see a doctor about that. Goes to Ken Mendenhall. I'm going to zoom in on this. What the hell is that? I'm hoping to God it's a little bit of flubber, sticking out from his little elbow band. But does it look like a tumor? For the love of God, Ken, I really think you should see a doctor about that.